Welcome, everybody. Thanks for getting the party started in the chat while I was working my way in here. I updated my computer overnight, and yeah, opening everything is just like taking forever today, so thanks for waiting. I'm here. Jackie says, greetings, lovely friends. Christine says, happy Tuesday, Jackie and lovely tribe. Jean, woohoo, more Jackie. Hello, Greg. Jackie, right, Jean? Patty says, happy 10:10. Today is 10:10. Whenever I see the clock at 10:10, I always say 10:10, 2:20. Does anyone remember what I'm talking about? Jean says it's a chilly 43 degrees here in Massachusetts. I'm not brave enough to go outside yet, this early in the morning. It's cold. Patty, good morning, and it is beautiful. Awesome. Hello, Lori. Swetasrini. Hello, Jackie. We are back again today. Hopefully I'm able to stay for the whole length of this session. If you can, awesome. If not, I record all of these and I put them on my YouTube channel. So you can always search my name on YouTube and go watch the replays if you miss any part of the sessions. Melissa, good morning. Jackie says I need positive vibes. Moon in Leo has fired my intense... Oh, you think the Moon in Leo has fired your intense reactions. Let's talk about Mars and Pluto and everything else that might have to do with your intense reactions. Jackie, it's 44 in Chicago. Yeah, no thank you. Deborah, good morning from Catskills. Pretty and chilly. Jennifer, good morning. Sharon, good morning. And Karen A, good morning. So let's just dive right in. Couple of reminders. Tomorrow I'm going to be here and I'm going to talk about the rest of October, the astrology for the rest of October, and then I am going away on a silent meditation retreat where I will be gone there for 10 days, and then when I come back I'm going on a trip with my husband. So I'm going to be off of Insight Timer until November. So don't miss tomorrow's session, I guess, whatever. But while I'm gone, Bonnie is going to be leading some group meditations in our spiritual community, the group that I have on Insight Timer. So if you want to still collaborate and connect with our tribe that meets at this time most days, Bonnie has pre-scheduled some group meditations so you all can meditate together and then chat afterwards. So you can like go into the group, our spiritual community, and like click attend or something. And I don't know if it'll notify you or not, but at least then people know that, you know, there's more than 2 people coming. So yeah, that should be, I'm really happy that she's doing that. I don't know if Bonnie's here. I haven't seen her yet, but that's really nice that you guys have an opportunity to collaborate while I'm gone. All right, so there's that. I'll try to mention it later for more people that come in. Melissa, can't wait to hear about your retreat. I'm very excited. This is all, especially like in eclipse season. And we'll talk more about eclipse season tomorrow. But we have a solar eclipse on the 14th of this month and a lunar eclipse on the 28th of this month, and like it's just perfect for me with my personal chart. It's huge. But let's talk about everyone today. Jack says, first time here. This app and this community is beautiful. So grateful. Much love. Welcome, Jack. Careful not to get hooked. People tend to get hooked here. I'm just kidding. We talk astrology, and then I pull oracle cards to like carry the messages through. So I'll be here for about an hour if you want to hang out. Where are you headed for this retreat? It is, it's a Vipassana meditation retreat, and there are Vipassana retreat centers all over the world. I'm going to one in Northern Illinois. But they are, they're all over the world. So if you're interested in doing a 10-day silent body scan, that's what I remember from Vipassana. But it's a donation-based retreat. So you go, and then if you make it through all 10 days, that's when they allow you to donate. So it's a beautiful, community, I guess. And then after you complete the 10-day retreat, then you can go back and volunteer. You can go back and do a 3-day or a 5-day. Yeah, Jojo. Beautiful. All right, so today we're talking about Pluto and Mars. These are like the most aggressive planets. So Pluto is stationing direct. We're talking about how Pluto and Mars are squaring each other right now. And then Mars is about to walk into Scorpio. So we'll go bit by bit. First talking about Pluto's retrograde coming to a close. Pluto stationed retrograde on May 1st. So May 1st through October 10th, Pluto, the planet of destruction and power, has been retrograde. Energies are turning inward when the planets are retrograde. So this started at 0 degrees of Aquarius, and Pluto worked his way back to 27 degrees of Capricorn. So if you have placements at 27 to 29 degrees of the cardinal signs, so 27 to 29 degrees of Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, you might have been feeling this Pluto retrograde the strongest. Because Pluto had either been actually transiting some planets in your natal chart, or Pluto had been squaring or opposing some planets in your natal chart. And that just adds like tension energy. For all of us, even if you don't have planets at that last degree of the cardinal signs, it's been a time of reflecting on the inner depths of our power. This feels very shadowy, the inner depths of our power, especially regarding our own authority. Capricorn is about rules and regulations and authority. So there may have been some situations in your life since May that have caused you to feel powerless, or that have exposed some deep shadows, maybe in yourself because of the retrograde, or, the world is a mirror. So if you were exposed to deep shadows of society, of your family, of your partner, other people, like the world is a mirror. So anything that's happening outside can just give you some clues about what's happening inside. So I'm sorry if it's been a rough few months since May, but it's always in alignment with your highest good. So Pluto retrograde's purpose is to get in there and dig to the bottom and investigate and see like what's actually in there. A lot of people have been more interested in shadow work lately, which I think is just so interesting with this Pluto retrograde, because Pluto is asking us to go in, has been since May, asking us to go in and look at like what's hiding down there, what's in the darkness. And now that Pluto is stationing direct, that's where Pluto's promise comes with empowerment. So empowerment is upon us. He wants you to understand that shadows aren't bad. Shadows are parts of ourselves that we might not be proud of. And that's okay. You don't have to be proud of every decision you've ever made in your life. But I was thinking about this morning, and if the opposite of pride would be shame, right? So if you're not proud of these shadowy parts of yourself, are you feeling shame and guilt and regret for them? Because neither of those are healthy. Neutrality comes in acceptance. Shadow work, accepting. Okay, that's a part of me. And go. Not like, yay, I love that part of me, or, oh no, I wish that part of me was gone. Just acceptance. Here it is. And in my opinion, acceptance is what leads to empowerment. Because then you don't have any wavering feelings about the shadow. It just is. And then you can choose to move forward with whatever power is found in that shadow. Let me know if that makes sense. April says, while you're gone, I'm going to do your Astrology 101 class. Love it. Yeah, you have plenty of time. It's 13 days. It's on Insight Timer if anyone else wants to take my Astrology 101 course. Jack says, you're so on point. I have felt a great renewal the past 2 days. The lower the low, the higher the high. Each challenge is an opportunity to grow. Yeah, absolutely. For the last week, 2 weeks, Pluto has been slowing down because when planets switch directions, it's like the same as when your car switches directions. You're in reverse and then you have to apply the brakes and you stop and then you start slowly moving forward. So that could have been Pluto's energy, like building momentum as he halts to a stop. So yesterday also, Pluto retrograde, right? Because I think he's stationing direct like this evening. So he's still retrograde right now. But Pluto retrograde yesterday formed a square to Mars. So Pluto at 27 of Capricorn, Mars at 27 of Libra. Squares are tension. Especially Pluto and Mars. Like I said earlier, they're the most aggressive planets, the most angry planets. So Pluto square Mars in general, to me, feels like anger energy. It feels like revenge. It feels like, oh, there was just a word on the tip of my tongue. Like out to get you, like I'm gonna get you back kind of energy. It feels like shadowy aggression to me. Squares give pressure, and Mars is action. So this to me feels like the pressure to act primally, right? Pluto is digging up our shadows. So Pluto and Mars working together with tension feels like that pressure to just act on it before you thought it through. It might have happened to you, right? Like this could have been something that you did or something that happened to you, or world events. All world events, all these wars are usually all the time triggered by astrological events. So the square could have been just that primal urge to and now this has to happen. Christine says, this is really resonating with me, Jackie. I felt a need to kickstart to change lows and highs for me too. This Pluto stationing direct is just like the first domino. We have all the outer planets moving direct month by month by month as we move through the winter. So this is like the start of it all. So that square, Pluto square Mars, it's dissipating right now. They're moving away from each other. The tension is leaving, but I feel like a steam. As I did that, I felt like steam engine. So there might be some lingering feelings, right? But nothing is good or bad. This is just the energy that's available to us. How are you going to use it? Tomorrow, Mars is going to enter Scorpio. So tomorrow evening, Mars is going to finish up his time in Libra and walk into Scorpio. So Mars will be in Scorpio from October 11th until November 24th. About a month and a half of Mars in Scorpio. Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio. So before Pluto was discovered as a planet, Mars was in charge of Scorpio energy. Then, I don't remember what year, but Pluto was discovered, and then Pluto took over the rulership of Scorpio. So Mars and Pluto both have that scorpionic energy as well. So Mars is comfortable in Scorpio. He's powerful here. Scorpio energy is fixed water. Fixed meaning stubborn and sustainable. Water meaning emotion, intuition. But Scorpio digs deep. Scorpio is here for the long haul. You have these feelings, I'm gonna feel these feelings for a month and a half and it's gonna stay steady. So Scorpio digs deep and Mars brings the passion and the drive. So you may feel called to do some investigation during Mars in Scorpio. And just generally, worldly, I see this as an external investigation. Investigating situations, investigating news events, investigating and getting to the bottom of drama in your friend group or your family group, something to do out there. That's how I feel this Mars in Scorpio right now, is something's gonna trigger you and you're gonna say I need to know more information about this. And then Mars brings that passion of we're gonna keep going at it. However, if you have personal planets in Scorpio, so if your Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, or Mars are in the sign of Scorpio, this may feel more personal. This may feel like a need to investigate situations in your day-to-day, like your values and where your energy is going and how you're thinking, like things that are more personal to you. If you have any of those personal planets, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, if you have those in the other fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, or Aquarius, then Mars, while he transits through Scorpio, is going to be either opposing in Taurus or squaring in Leo and Aquarius. So that could be giving some pressure to act on this deep self-investigation. So the energy does feel heavy right now, but heavy isn't always bad. It's like grounded. It's like bringing you back to reality. It's not about being love and light and dancy and rainbows and butterflies all the time. Like, we signed up to be in this Earth school to feel the duality, to feel all of this up and down. So right now we're in a more heavy, grounded state, and then working our way through this will allow us to come back up to the light, fluffy stuff whenever it's time, you know? Greg says, I hit a wall in May and have really been in the depths, but recently making changes and taking steps forward. That's great. And it's just starting. All of this direct, things moving direct, is starting. Yeah, Hannah is a Scorpio. A lot of those themes are building, aggression happening. Jackie's got some placements that are getting affected. Diana too. Hannah says very heavy energy. Getting random clicks. Oh, let me see if it's plugged in all the way, Jacqui. Everything is plugged in all the way, Jacqui. Let me know if that gets better with the mic. Christine says this is so spot on. Karen is a Scorpio sun and moon. Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury all in Scorpio, Karen. Ugh, you're deep in there all the time. Jack, booms. The highs wouldn't even be highs without the lows. Love how you put it. It's my general message. Hello, Elena. So I wanted to ask the cards today. The first deck, we're going to be asking what Pluto retrograde has helped us find within ourselves. I thought that would be a nice little recap. Like, what has Pluto retrograde helped us find? While he dug up all this stuff, right? He wasn't just digging it up for fun. He was digging it up for a reason. Is anyone else hearing clicks with my microphone? Because that's annoying. Jackie says she's hearing clicks. Let me know if it's just her. Oh, Diane hears it too? Violet hears it too? Okay, give me 1 second. Let me see. I'm just gonna switch it, and then I'll switch it back. Let me know if that helped. Hello, Velmode. I switched the mic. Did it make any difference? I guess I should keep talking. Yes, but it's not that annoying. Interesting. I wonder what that is. Still there, but it's okay. All right, guys. Thanks for your understanding. All right. What? No, I have a microphone. It's like a separate microphone, and it's all the way over here. Sounds like a loose connection, but I tightened everything. Maybe. Try one more time. Pick it up again. Oh, did it stop when I picked it up? Melinda says, I've had issues on Insight Timer the last couple of weeks when I went live. Wonder if it's the interface. All right, I'm not going to worry too much about it if it's not bothering anyone. All right, so what has Pluto helped us find within ourselves? And I was looking at all my decks, and I was like, which deck feels like Pluto? And I need to get like a Pluto deck. I don't have a Pluto deck, but this one was close enough. We're going to use the Dragon Oracle cards. Yeah, let's just, I don't know. What did I even ask? what has Pluto retrograde helped us find within ourselves? And we'll see which dragons want to speak to us. So I always do group readings, so feel free to send your energy into the cards. Tuning into Pluto. And I will let 3 cards fall out of the deck for all of us. And then after they fall out, I'm going to show you the backs of the cards. So you're going to see the same image 3 times. And then I ask you to tune into your intuition, not thinking too hard. And just see if any of the cards are speaking to you in a different way than the others. This could come in the form of physical sensations changing when I hold up a certain card. This could be a knowing, like Jacqui already knows which card she's working with. That's your claircognizance. Everyone is psychic, just know that. And we convince ourselves that we're not. If nothing happens, if you feel absolutely nothing, then the whole reading is for you. They came out real fast today. What has Pluto retrograde helped us find within ourselves? 108 meditators, 108. Here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Let us know in the chat which cards were calling to you. Greg is a dragon in Chinese astrology. Love it. And one more time, just in case you need a buffer, the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Melinda is also a dragon. She's a fire dragon. Wow. I think I'm a metal goat. I'm either wood or metal. I think I'm a metal goat. I don't know what that means too much. I'm married to a fire tiger. All right, Jacqui is working with 1, Patty 3, Kim 3, April 3, Deborah 3, Alice 1, Jennifer 2, Jack 3, Lena 3. Oh, my screen jumped. Where did we go? Patty 2, my screen got funky when you held it up. Julie 2, Win 1, Melissa 2, Jojo 2 and 3, Violet 2, Sweat 1, Sharon 1, Jean definitely 3. A truck went by and a crow started squawking. Crow. That's a crow. On my incense, that's a crow. Christine, itch for 1, chills for 2, heartburn for 3. You got a whole lot of stuff going on today. Greg, big smile on 1. Hannah, chills for 2. Velmode 2. Jojo had the same as Christine. Melinda 3, Lori 2, Melinda 3, or all 3. And Karen felt 2 in your belly, like the chills. Interesting. Let's see what comes out. I've only used this deck a handful of times, so I'm not extremely familiar with it, but let's see what Pluto wants to teach us. Bear with me today. These are not in alphabetical order. And some of them have like overlapping names, like they share names. Oh, and I opened right to it. Cool. Crow is one of my animal spirit guides. Love it. Love it. All right, what has Pluto retrograde helped us find within ourselves? And this could have been in a really not fun way. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That's how Pluto works. Card number 1 is the Silver Dragon. Illuminates your potential with higher light. Access untapped resources. Look into your soul. See higher possibilities. fifth dimensional shimmering silver dragons radiate divine feminine light and gentle qualities. They exude harmlessness, love, peace, tranquility, balance, gentleness, and calmness. If we are ready, they surround our aura in a soft, pure silver light that enables us to retain these divine feminine qualities. They also reflect our true self and highest potential back to us, coming to us and looking deep into our eyes. This enables us to see the essence of our soul and discover aspects of ourselves we did not know existed. We are reminded of our divine magnificence and may catch a glimpse of the mighty soul, or even monad, I am presence, to which we belong. Your fifth dimensional soul blueprint contains the keys and codes of your gifts, talents, wisdom, and power. Much of this is locked away and unused. Receiving this card suggests that it is time for some of this potential to be ignited and brought forward into your life. You are ready to reveal yourself and be who you truly can be. Sit quietly and see or sense the shimmering silver dragon who has come to you. Allow it to reflect back to you the hidden aspects of your soul and your higher possibilities. This may or may not be a conscious process, but it will inspire you to express your essence and transform your life. Be ready to develop any gifts or qualities that the dragon draws to your attention. You may surprise yourself. This card feels very soft. This card was talking about the feminine light and gentle qualities in the beginning. So there may have been something that Pluto dug up inside of you that is calling you to reconnect with your feminine, to reconnect with the receptiveness, the softness, like that soft landing cushion for others. That's what I'm feeling. What else is coming here? Like, so yesterday, right, I'm leaving for this meditation retreat tomorrow, and yesterday I had some time during the day where I could take time for myself, which hasn't happened in a long time, and I know that I'm taking 10 days to myself when I go on this retreat, but I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take a bath and do what I got to do. And I had a very divine feminine like awakening when I was just resting, being by myself, listening to music, thinking but not consciously thinking about past, like about people in my life who have helped me come into my feminine. And I had such this strong urge of like, I just want to take care of my family. Like, that's all I want to do in this life. And that has come through some trials and tribulations. That's come through some disagreements, some arguments in the home because stuff is out of whack, stuff is out of balance. And that helped me come back to my divine feminine. I hope that helps. Makes sense. Thank you, Jack, for your donation. Jojo, it has not been fun, and it has been freeing. Grateful. Christine, wow, I'm feeling so emotional. This is again spot on for me today. Beautiful. Let's see what card number 2 brings us. I feel like we got this card before. Melinda, this completely resonates for me as well. I love it. Yeah, where are you being asked to be softer? Especially with all this Mars-Pluto energy going on right now. Like, just because the universe is aggressive doesn't mean you have to match it. Sometimes you have to balance it and do the exact opposite. Card number 2, what else has Pluto helped us find within ourselves? Pure white dragon from Orion. Transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know, act with truth and honesty, let your wings of light grow and expand. This image is just like captivating. I just want to stare at it. Orion is the planet of wisdom, the ability to take the knowledge we obtain through our left brain and use it joyfully for the highest good of all. Beings from many star systems take their understanding to Orion and ask how to use it with wisdom. All the beings from Orion, including the 7th dimensional pure white dragons, carry a special light in their soul. The color white indicates purity, clarity, and advanced enlightenment. Archangel Gabriel, the unicorns, and the Great White Brotherhood all hold this incredible level of purity. Source light is diamond white. As white holds the vibration of truth, when the pure white dragons from Orion shower it onto us, it lights up our own impeccable honor and brilliance. They are preparing us for greater advancement on our ascension path. A pure white dragon of Orion has come to you today to advise you to examine what you know with enlightened eyes. Process any information you are working with through your right brain to discover how to use it for your highest good. The high-frequency dragons from Orion will be with you to help you with this process. They will allow you to advance your spiritual growth and expand your wings of light. When you hold white in your aura, people trust and respect you. This card calls on you to speak your truth, act with honesty, and be totally honorable in all your dealings. My goodness, my words today, guys. Greg, yes, this did show up last week. This was talking about left brain, right brain. This looks like processing through a more pure, higher consciousness, but what word? Advanced enlightenment. Process your information through advanced enlightenment. So instead of using everything, is it, which is the analytical brain? I always forget. The right brain? Left brain. Left brain is very I can't remember. Yeah, left brain is the analytical, and that's how a lot of us process information. It's how we're taught in the school system to process information, is left, left, left. Make your list. Contemplate everything, like think it over. Right brain is where you just flow. Right brain is where you get into that flow state and you just go with life. Having that white purity in your soul allows you to just flow with everything, and it makes more sense. I feel like that left-right brain connection is where things start to make sense. Too much right brain, you're up in the clouds, you're in la la land all the time. Too much left brain, you can be hyper analytical and anxious and depressed. Meet somewhere in the middle. So maybe this Pluto retrograde helped you find an opportunity to purify your life in one way or another. That's what that feels like. Balance again, Velmode. It's the key to life, right? Yin yang. It's all about balance. Using both in equal harmony. What is next? How do you use the right side of the brain or develop it? I do it in letting go of my to-do list. I try to let go of time. I try to schedule time to let go of time. I'm very rigid and on time for appointments all the time, and I'm having this struggle with Saturn right now. Shut up, Saturn. So I try to go into flow state as often as possible. Flow state is when, that saying, time flies when you're having fun. Flow state is when you're just so engulfed in enjoyment in what you're doing. That's right brain. That's when you don't think about planning, you don't think, you just are, and you just flow and you go. Let me know if anyone else has, throw it in the chat if you guys have other advice for Sharon on how to develop the right brain or how to use it. Meditation is definitely right brain. That meditation is in flow state. When you let go of having to plan and organize everything that you're doing in the meditation, it's like the let go. Play, Jojo, yes. Aaron says, look at art, be in nature. Thank you for your donation, Christina. Aaron says, alternate nostril breathing is a good way to help balance the left and right brain. That's interesting. I really don't like alternate nostril breathing. I feel like I just have a lot of like sinus stuff all the time and allergies, and anytime I try to do it, one nostril is blocked and I'm just like, this is stupid. Christine, yeah, be creative, paint, color, dance. Just get lost in what you're doing. Melissa feels like this when you're painting. Sweat, free form dance. Yep. Breathe through until the blockage clears. Okay, Jackie, I'll try it. Whenever I feel like it, I'll try it. Greg says, anything that helps me drop out of my mind into my heart. And most importantly, in the moment. Yeah, get out of your head and get into your heart. And I think that's one of my biggest lessons. There's been like 4 times today that I've caught. So when you're on the computer on Insight Timer, there's a timer and it shows like how long we've been in the session. And at least 4 times I've looked at like double numbers. 23. I just saw 37. It's happened a bunch today. Interesting. All right. What else has Pluto retrograde helped us find within ourselves? Card number 3 is the green gold dragon from Sirius. Brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. Learn about spiritual technology. Be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. Within the inner planes of the star system of Sirius and its ascended aspect, Lacumae, there are renowned universities attended by beings from the entire cosmos. In these elevated establishments, higher knowledge and spiritual technology from many universes are disseminated. You guys know how much I know words. These magnificent dragons work in these academies of light and carry the keys and codes of the spiritual technology of the future in their energy fields. Their mission is to spread love to all those who are ready to help bring in the new golden age. These dragons are cosmic travelers and, like all dragons, help us to move through the dimensions. In addition, they will guide and protect us on our interdimensional journeys between Earth and other parts of our universe, especially if we aspire to be an intergalactic master. Drawing this card suggests you invite these luminous beings to swirl around you, touching your chakras with the sacred geometry of the universe. Then, ask them to tune you into any aspect of higher knowledge you can bring forward now. Sit quietly and allow this to happen. You may receive a download of information, or various keys and codes you carry in your soul may light up. If so, you will become a transmitter who broadcasts sacred knowledge, though you may not be consciously aware of it. This is a very powerful dragon, so notice subtle changes in your thoughts and attitudes. Your dreams may reveal memories from your travels with the wonderful green golden dragons from Sirius. This is cool, and I'm seeing how these cards connect now. This one brought it all together. So this is the card of spiritual technology, and what is spiritual technology is consciousness. It's just keys in our consciousness. And these are things that are not conscious. Like, often when you receive downloads, when you receive upgrades, it often goes right past your conscious mind, and it's just deep in your soul. And it's something that shifts within you. Your energy shifts. You know, it's not always like you have this revelation and you're like, oh, wow, now I think this way. Now I know this. Like, sometimes that happens. But a lot of times it's just, it changes in you, and it's a subtle change, but it's powerful. These are things, you know, like, this just came to mind. When you're, like, losing or gaining weight, you know, like when you're in that process of changing your body one way or another, on the day-to-day you don't really notice it, but then you see someone who you haven't seen in a few months and they're like, oh, you look different. It's kind of the same with all these downloads. Like by doing your daily meditation or whatever, don't even pressure yourself to do it daily. Do what you can do. When you're doing your meditative work or your practice or whatever you're doing, when you're working on yourself, you're chipping away, and you always are receiving these messages from the universe. But it's such a slow progress when you watch it with a critical eye day to day. But then if you talk to someone who you haven't talked to in a year or two, they might be like, where did old you go? Who is this new version of you? It's great. Like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Jojo says this makes sense to me. I have been traveling, can't remember where, just know I have because how I wake up, which has been between 2 and 3 in the morning. What I'm getting from all of this is that Pluto retrograde has invited us to find our feminine inside. And it's a process. So he's asked you to calm down and be receptive. Stop doing so much and start resting and just being, right? Being in the flow state. Being feminine in a way that amplifies and purifies your light. It's like step 1, step 2, step 3. You're not going to get these downloads if you're always working, going, achieving. Like, you do need to slow down in order to purify some of your stuff. Slowing down as in taking time to meditate, taking time to take a bath, taking time to journal, taking time to paint, to walk, to do something where you can turn off your left brain and move more into your right brain. That's where this stuff happens. And there is no right or wrong way to get into your flow state. You all saw in the chat when we were asking about what do you guys do to get into your flow state. It can be so personal. Whatever allows you to turn your brain off, that's where these kind of downloads happen. What does growth in the feminine look or feel like within? I love that question, especially coming from Jack. Because I'm in this whole thing right now. I'm trying to awaken the feminine within my husband. And like, I don't know what it's like to be a dude. I know that I've been in my masculine a lot of my life because that's how society has like programmed us to be the boss babe, to go be the CEO, the corporate I don't want to do that. I just want to raise my family. But that's me. So how does any men in here want to talk to that? Like, how did you awaken your feminine? Feminine to me is more like, I'm going to use the yin yang. And actually, Jack, if you're on TikTok, I made a really cool video about the yin yang not too long ago. Yin, black, feminine. Yang, white, masculine. Yin, receptive, takes in. Feminine attracts. Yang is the external, the output, the doing, the acting. So it's that balance. Are you doing 90% of your time? Or are you receiving? Slowing down, allowing these downloads to come in instead of feeling like you have to reach out for them. Does that make sense? Karen and Christine, thank you guys for your donations. And Jackie, I appreciate you. We're gonna pull. All right, so that was all about Pluto. Thank you, Pluto, for helping us find our feminine, our receptive. It's also like the surrender. To me, surrender feels feminine. And that's what I've been working on as far as like my manifestations. I think I've talked about it here, but I've come to this realization that like when you want to manifest something, I've found a 3-step process that's been working for me and I'm going with it. Ask, act, surrender. And the middle part is where I think the balance is the most tricky. So in order to get what you want, you have to ask for it. You have to consciously know what you want. Just writing it down or however, communicating it clearly, getting clear on like specifically what it is that you want. Ask. Then you act. Then you do something about it. Then you take necessary action, you take inspired action, and you go for it. But then the surrender part is where the beauty happens, but that needs to be timed in like such a way, because if you keep acting, you're going to push it away. You're going to push away what you're trying to get because you're trying to control too much. But when you surrender and you just let it go, that's when the universe is able to say like, hey, I've seen your hard work. Here it is. Maybe not the exact way that you ordered it, but here's a better thing than you asked for. Greg, there's so much I could say about this, but not through typing. Jack, you can reach out to Greg if you want. He's a very, Greg's a Pisces. We'll just put it that way. I think Greg can speak to that a lot in a good way. Alice says masculine energy is about control, having your ducks in a row, putting everything in tidy boxes. Feminine is free, untethered energy, even chaos at times. Feminine can be embracing the chaos instead of trying to contain and control it, which would be masculine. Beautiful. Very eloquent, Alice, and I love that. Wade, as an Aries man, I have found embracing and integrating my feminine to be extremely liberating. It was spending time in nature that was most beneficial to that transformation. Thanks, Wade. I love that you found it liberating. There's a balance for everyone. Like, I don't think anyone's meant to be in their masculine 100% or meant to be in their feminine 100%. You gotta like breathe on the other side. Scorpio is a feminine sign, Jean. TJ says it's a struggle as a guy because we get judged negatively. First phase, I think, slow down, breathe, listen, be open, then see where it goes. That's my door to the feminine. Thanks, TJ. There's judgment on both sides. There's so much judgment in this society. That's why I just stopped paying attention to what other people think, because it doesn't matter. Their opinions don't affect my life, you know? Turn off the media. Eddie says, also, don't have an idea of how the answer shows up, so there's room for something better to arrive. Yeah. Don't have an idea of how your manifestation is gonna come. Yeah, because then you're controlling, you're limiting. You're expecting from the past, from past experiences. Karen says, this fits perfectly with a hit I got during a meditation this weekend. Don't you just love the synchronicities? Sweat says, great explanation, Jackie. My friend has been searching frantically for her misplaced credit card. I asked her to stop and surrender to the universe, and that will lead her to it. I said all this without realizing I was asking her to work with her feminine energy. Yeah, that's a perfect, like, real life example. Masculine is having to control, the situation, having to put it in a box. Saturn energy. This credit card needs to be in this place. Feminine is like, whatever, it's not here right now. It'll show up when it's supposed to show up. Greg, really depends on what you're currently working with, Jack. Thoughts versus emotions, doing versus being, outward versus inward. Thank you, Jack, for igniting that discussion. I love when little tangents like that happen, especially when the whole group gets involved. Wade says spirit is free from gender, or possibly transcends those concepts. It just is. It is all. So Mars is also moving into Scorpio. So we're going to ask for a message about that. And if you joined late, the recording's going to be on YouTube, so you can always go back and watch on YouTube. But we talked about how Mars in Scorpio wants to investigate. It wants to get deep down in there. It wants to look at the shadows, right? So I want to ask, which animal can support us during this time of Mars in Scorpio? So Mars is in Scorpio October 11th through November 24th. We're going to ask the Archangel Animal Oracle cards, which animal can support us during Mars in Scorpio. So feel free to send your energy into this deck. If you've been enjoying today's session, if you'd like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, they're always appreciated, never expected. If you've been having a good time and you're not yet following me on Insight Timer, feel free to follow me here. You can also follow my YouTube channel where I post all of these replays. You could just search Jacqui Mancuso. Be sure to get the Q in Jacqui. And then, yeah, you can find me pretty much anywhere. I have a pretty unique name. So if you want to find my Facebook, my personal, you guys can be friends with my personal Facebook. I don't really post much there. They're mostly like both my business pages. But I'm on Facebook, Jacqui Mancuso, and Lakeside Living is my business. LakesideLivingHealer.com is my website. I do donation-based readings and a whole bunch of stuff. But my schedule is like way jam-packed until mid-November because I'm going out of town for that time. But yeah, any kind of support, even like liking my videos, sharing them with someone who you think might enjoy them, watching my podcast, all that information is on my Linktree, which is in my Insight Timer bio. Sharon, this is the Archangel Animal Oracle deck. And we asked which animal can support us during Mars in Scorpio. Let me get my alphabet straight now. All right, so this time around, the pig wants to help us maintain self-worth and self-esteem. And the pig works with archangels Mary, Gabriel, and Uriel. These wonderful healers come from the Pleiades with a mission to serve by raising the frequency of the land and all creatures. They carry the blue Pleiadian rose, symbolizing heart healing and love in their auras. While their sole mission is to keep the frequency of the land, people, and animals around them high, pure, and clear, their service mission is to eat unwanted food and vegetation. In earlier times, it was considered a privilege to share your home with this clean, evolved, and clever animal. The healing angels of the Pleiades and many archangels are working with the pigs to uphold their sense of self-worth and self-esteem so that they can continue to serve at the highest possible level. I got real itchy nose right now. This card tells you it is time to remember how special you are. Your soul had to be at least 7th dimensional to be allowed to incarnate on Earth, and, like most beings, when you step down into a body, much of your knowledge and wisdom was lost to you. Your guidance is to meditate for a few minutes each day on the gifts, talents, and wisdom held in your soul. Then ask for them to be made available to you for your highest good. This is great, and this makes so much sense. It's not even what the book said about the pig. What do pigs do is they eat all the nasty stuff that other people don't want to eat. And pigs have gotten a bad rap for being messy, for being gross. You're a pig, right? Like, what does that insult mean? You're a pig. It means you're going to go eat everything. But nothing is good or bad, okay? And I feel like the pig has been made a villain for a reason. But the pig is all about transmutation. It eats the nasty stuff that no one wants to look at, the shadow, Pluto, Mars energy, and it is one of the cleanest animals ever, and it's super intelligent, and it knows exactly what it's doing, and it's doing it out of love. It's doing it because it knows that its digestive system is meant to handle that kind of stuff. So it's a gesture of love. It's an act of love. Oh, I'll look at that. I'll digest that for you. And then all I'm gonna do is bring cleanliness and cuteness and intelligence and wisdom to your life. So the pig wants to support us during Mars and Scorpio to get you to eat the shit. Take a bite out of it. It's fine. It's gonna move through your body and it's fine. And then it won't be there anymore. You know, like the scary bar won't be there anymore. Hi, Bonnie, popping in to say hi. Fabiana, resonated with you. Patty, its body parts are compatible with the human body. Like the stomach. What do you mean compatible with the human body? Like we have the same type of parts? Or that if I needed a stomach transplant, I can get one from a pig? I also think it's interesting that we have so many different extraterrestrial beings working with us today. We have Orion working with us, we have Sirius working with us, and now the pig brings us Pleiades. This feels just like a whole lot of support, you know, from all over the place. It's not like one race is helping us today. Like, this feels like a culmination. This feels like a lot of stuff is coming together. They use it in transplant. Interesting. So here's a Mars in Scorpio mission. Why were we made to think that pigs are so disgusting? Investigate. If it piques your fancy. If not, don't worry about it. Christine loves the pig card. Okay, so the self-esteem part of this, self-worth and self-esteem, make yourself the pig, right? Just imagine that you're the pig. You know how smart they are, right? You know how intelligent they are? And people blame them for being gross. They, make fun of how they eat everything. People talk bad about them. They talk down on them. Does the pig care? No. The pig just keeps on doing its own thing. Pig knows that she's super intelligent. She's wise. She knows she's doing the right thing for herself and for humanity. And even though people talk bad about her, she just keeps doing it anyway because she's wise enough to know that it doesn't matter. So how can you apply that to your life while Mars is in Scorpio? Jean was born year of the pig. Love it. We got year of the dragon, year of the pig. We got all the animals here today. So as Pluto starts to station direct, his energy might be big for about a week because he's switching direction. So it kind of like amplifies and megafies as he switches. And then tomorrow Mars moves into Scorpio, giving us that energy, drive, and ambition to investigate internally or externally. Depends on your chart and just however you're feeling the energies. Yeah. No need to force any of this energy. The purpose of me explaining it is just to let you know that it's available. So if it feels right to investigate or to empower your feminine, go with it. If not, don't worry about it. Lena, gut, solar plexus, where self-esteem comes from. Yeah, wow. Love that connection. Yeah, self-esteem is I would say solar plexus, which is about 2 inches above your belly button. I'm quizzing myself on anatomy. Where exactly is the stomach? And that's interesting with all this pig digestion stuff. Cool. I'll be back tomorrow to talk about the rest of October. So tomorrow's going to be a little loaded. I encourage you to bring a notebook if you want to keep track of dates and degrees and signs and all that stuff. Ronnie, yes, this is being recorded. It will be on it'll be on YouTube in a few hours. Christine, I was born in the year of the dog and just looked and wondered, where's Darla today? Darla's upstairs today. She just didn't feel like hanging out. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. Suzanne, my grandmother, who I never met, loved pigs. I feel like she was also a misunderstood creature. Hannah, funny how I've been having gut issues through this time. Interesting. Jacqui, yeah, so yesterday's Insight Timer is going on YouTube. The upload was corrupted. Yeah, it's up now. I redid it this morning. So yesterday's replay is up on YouTube now. Thank you, Bonnie, for the reminder. Other reminder for anyone who joined midway through today's session, I'm going out of town. I'm leaving tomorrow afternoon, and I'm going to be off of Insight Timer for the rest of the month. However, Bonnie, who puts the card updates in our spiritual community, so if you haven't joined my group, our spiritual community, hop on in there. Bonnie is also hosting some live group meditations while I'm away. So to keep the community together, to keep the collaboration and the chat going, at 8:15 Central Time, a few days from now through the end of the month, Bonnie has already set up some group meditations. So you'll hop in, you'll do an Insight Timer guided meditation together, and then the chat is open, and you guys can recap about it, talk about the astrology, talk about how much you miss me. I'm just kidding. So yeah, feel free to hop in and join those now. I think you'll get updated if you have notifications turned on. I don't know. And then yeah, this replay is going on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here today. Sweat says thank you. Suzanne, I was late, but this was great. You're always right on time. Sending love to all. Namaste. And I will see everyone tomorrow.